The fact that anything is possible. We just know what we're capable of. We know we can play some really good basketball, and we know that we're going to play some really good basketball, and it's going to have to start in this next game up in Boston. But I just think that we know that we can win.
All right, Stephen A., was last night's Game 5 blowout more about the Celtics' defense, or was it just a bad Heat offensive performance?
It was more about the Heat and how horrific their offense was. Listen, the Boston Celtics have an elite defense. We all recognize that, and nobody's trying to even imply otherwise. But there are moments in a season, there are times during a game when it is clear that it is not your night, that you're so anemic, so abysmal, so moribund, that there's simply nothing else that can be said about your team. The Miami Heat, I don't give a damn how good the Boston Celtics defense is. The Miami Heat starting backcourt of Kyle Lowry and Max Strus shot 0 for 15. They made as many baskets, Molly, as me and you. Now, we know that Kyle Lowry is a champion, okay? And because he's a champion, make no mistake about it, his hamstring injury is bothering him. He's not 100%. He probably didn't need to be out there. The only reason why he ended up out there is because Tyler Hero was on the sideline looking like he wanted to be a male model, dressed in white and fly shades, sitting on the court. When you're wearing white, I don't know why you'd be sitting on the ground where people use their shoes to step all over the place, because it will dust up your outfit. But nevertheless, he didn't care. He was being the male model that he was. He's injured, and that's why he was out of the game. And because he was out, that put more pressure on Kyle Lowry to step up and produce, and he just couldn't do it. Strus is another matter entirely. I know that I'm not trying to throw complete shade on him because he was injured himself to some degree and he still played. But he's been 0 for 16 in games 4 and 5. 0 for 16 as your starting shooting guard. And so when you're getting that level of production, combined with the fact that Jimmy Butler clearly is not healthy, shooting 4 of 18 from the field. Victor Oladipo is healthy, but he shot 1 for 7 last night. You got literally no production. And I saw an innumerable amount of shots taken by the Miami Heat that were virtually uncontested. There was no one in the vicinity, and they were still bricklaying. And so even though Boston's defense is elite, let's call this what it is. It was one of the most putrid, pathetic offensive performances we have ever seen in the history of the Miami Heat. And the bottom line is that they're going home in Game 6. They're not beating Boston tomorrow night at the TD Bank Garden. The Boston Celtics are about to go back to the NBA Finals for the first time, I think, since like 2012, whatever it was. They're not coming back to Miami because the Miami Heat are completely depleted and injured. They just don't have the health nor the horses to overcome that lack